15 embarrassing things you have done in video games.
We have a lot to talk about, so without wasting your time, let us begin right away.
Watched a guard take a crap in Metal Gear Solid. Remember when you had to crawl through the ventilation shaft in MGS1 to rescue the DARPA chief? Well, a lot of you probably remember where there were two paths to go down, one to the DARPA chief and the other led you over top another guard sitting on the toilet. Not only was he taking a crap and talking to himself, you later realise he had a pretty severe diarrhea as well. Strapping C4 to an enemy's back. You ever strap a bomb to an enemy's back before? You probably have, like in MGS-V for example, or maybe Far Cry 4. You find your target, stalk your prey, then throw a bomb on their back. It's never that easy though, so you always end up wasting time, and for what? Leaning and turning your controller in racing games. This we've probably done without even realising. You're playing a racing game, it doesn't matter what kind, the ultra-realistic Gran Turismo or Mario Kart. As soon as a turn comes up, you either turn your regular controller in the direction you want to go, or you lean your whole body in that direction. You know it's not going to help, or do you? Badmouth the player online without realising your mic was on. You call that sniping? I asked out loud while I was watching a teammate no-scoping. Yes, I call that sniping, he said, causing me to literally jump back. Yes, we've all done this before. We're shy, we've got a mic to talk to our friends, then we get angry when we die or do some trash talking after we get a good kill, and forgot our mic is on, and then they say something back. You usually start shaking and shut your mic off immediately. Spending a ton of money in microtransactions. Microtransactions are terrible. Most of that stuff used to be unlockable in video games, like the costumes you have to buy in the Batman Arkham games, but you just can't help yourself. And before you know it, you've spent $30, $40, or even $50 on stupid stuff. Inflating your trophies or achievements with short or bad games. There was a time when Xbox achievements and PlayStation trophies were super important. That's not true, but it felt that way. There were tons of websites dedicated to help you track down and earn as many of these rewards as you could. Most of them had sections for the shortest and easiest games, like Terminator Salvation, which is only about 4 hours long, but has achievements and trophies for simply beating levels. Yeah, we've all been there. Jumping into fire just to see if it'll kill you. Ooh, that's a pretty fire effect, you say to yourself. I wonder if it'll kill me. Then you jump in and of course it kills you. Gamers are still funny about this. We always have to see if the thing that should obviously hurt or kill us will in fact hurt or kill us. Sometimes you run into games where fires are just for show, but there's no real need to know most of the time. Yet we always have to test it to see for ourselves. And then we die and have to start a level all over again for nothing. Decorating your house by carefully picking up individual items. This is something we often do in Oblivion or Skyrim. You'll buy or earn a new house and you want to make it your own. So you get a bunch of items and carefully, delicately, slowly pick up the items one at a time and gently place them down. They always fall over and knock other stuff over, but it doesn't deter you. You just get back to work picking stuff up, all for a house you'll probably never go back to. Rage quitting. This is definitely something we've all done. You've several hours straight invested in a game and you're stuck on a level or someone online keeps killing you over and over. First you pretend you don't really care, but keep playing anyway. Then you get stubborn and want to finally beat the level or get the person killing you. Next you're yelling at your screen, before finally shouting in rage and quitting the game. Throwing a controller and breaking it. You rage quit, and then in your anger you throw your controller. Sometimes it lands innocently on your bed or couch, but other times it'll hit a wall, and if you went really crazy, it'll go flying down the stairs. Yeah, when that happens, you know it's not going to be pretty. Maybe you'll scuff up the handles, maybe a button will fall out or start to stick, or it could be totally broken. Either way, walking in the store and buying a new controller was always a walk of shame. Thinking mashing buttons harder will help. Just like leaning into turns in racing games, you occasionally lose your mind playing games. Occasionally you too will mash buttons as hard as you can to make the game load faster, or make your characters reload faster or maybe shoot harder, who knows. That's not how buttons work though. Well, most controllers have pressure-sensitive buttons, but jamming them over and over again with your thumb as hard as you can isn't how they work. Picked a fight in an RPG you knew you couldn't win and kept stubbornly fighting. RPGs are all about forcing the player to level up and get better as they play, but maybe you don't feel like going through the motions of killing rats and baby goblins. Instead, you want to go straight for the big bad boss with your crappy sword. The boss or high-level enemies tear you to pieces, but out of sheer stubbornness you keep trying to fight them anyway, and never win because it's not really possible. Getting our parents to buy us mature-rated games when we were kids. Some of us were lucky enough to buy games in places that didn't care about your age, but many of us weren't so lucky. We had to deal with the shop owners who followed the age rating system to the T and M. So even at the age of 15 and 16, we had to drag our mums into game stores and get them to buy the game for us. They'd always handed us the game there in the store after they bought it too, which somehow made it worse. Spend all afternoon riding a taxi in San Andreas. Did you know you can actually sit in a taxi in GTA San Andreas and ride around? Some of you probably knew that, because you could feel ashamed at the number of hours you spent just sitting in them, not really doing anything. San Andreas is a great game, and it's great to just fully immerse yourself in a game like that, but we always felt silly after sitting in a taxi for upwards of half an hour to an hour at a time. Playing a two-player game by yourself by awkwardly using both controllers. Whenever we really love a game, we tend to want to experience it as much as possible. Maybe you want to play battle mode in Mario Kart, but don't have anyone to play at the moment. Or maybe you're doing something else on this list, like achievement hunting. So you did the only thing you could. You plugged in another controller and played multiplayer by yourself. It's a pretty low moment, and we know it, but sometimes we'd never take it back.
Like this video? Why not give us a like and subscribe? We try and upload amazing videos almost every single day. Thank you for watching this video, and we'll see you on the next one.